A lot of you guys are waiting on permission from the world in order to be yourself, when in reality, you need to be giving yourself the permission to be yourself. You know, I say this as a person who was once upon a time a person who was a people pleaser, who once always tried to do the right things for others, who once tried to be who he felt he needed to be in order to get accepted by a group of people. And what I've had to learn and understand was that there was no happiness on the other side of that. You know, there was no happiness and there was no joy in life, always trying to microanalyze what decision I needed to say or needed to make, what thing I needed to say, what choice needed to be made in order to be accepted. What was the right thing? It was always a question of what do they want me to do, or what's the right thing to do in this situation so that they still accept me, or so that they think this way of me and stuff like that. And what I've had to realize is that in order to truly find happiness, peace, and joy within life, I had to learn to let all of that go and just be me. And what I learned is that there's no real correct way to live life. I think a lot of you guys have this misconception that there's a specific type of person that you have to be in this world. And I've learned that it's a subjective opinion to live life the right way. Like, there is no right way to live life. There is no right person to be, unless you want to argue maybe who the Bible tells you to be. But even in that, it's like no rules against really being your authentic self, or being who you just naturally and truly are with your personality and things like that. And you know, for a lot of you guys, it's going to take a little minute, because it's like when you've been somebody who's not really you for so long, it's like you have to start questioning like who actually is the real you. It's like you're so far gone from your real self that you don't even know what your real self is anymore, who your real self is. And you know, the way I feel I was able to reconnect with my authentic self and just who I really am as a person was being the person who came easy for me to be. You know, I feel like a lot of us at times we second guess ourselves, or how I put it as, I no longer consider others before I consider myself. I think too often we try and microanalyze our decisions and our actions, which at times isn't bad, but when we do it too much, it gets us away from our authentic selves. Like, let's say, oh, I see a person that looks attractive or something like that. It's like the afterthoughts that keeps me away from doing what I actually want to do, which is approaching that person. But it's like the doubts and the consideration of other people and how other people are going to think of me and stuff like that, that keeps me from taking that initial action I want to do. And so that might just be, you know, saying what I want to say, you know, doing what I want to do, and not considering how other people are going to see it before I consider how it's going to make me feel, essentially. You know, it might be something I eat, it may be the music I listen to, it may be a hobby I do. You know, one thing I really started doing to get a lot more confident in myself was just expressing myself and not being afraid of being seen as my real self, and allowing people to just choose that version of me. You know, I think the way you really get comfortable in, you know, being who you are and, you know, giving yourself that permission to be yourself is by showing up as yourself regardless of what other people think and who other people might tell you to be. And the way I was able to do this was like about 2-3 years ago on Instagram. I used to start just posting videos of me in my car. You know, I think we all have a side of ourselves that, you know, when we driving down the street, whatever, we listen to our favorite music and we be singing and stuff like that. Like we just be we feel no pressure to be somebody that we're not. You know, we're being our real self. You know, whether you singing to Katy Perry, whether you singing to Lil Baby, whether you singing to Drake, like you singing to whoever, yada yada. So I used to do this thing where I would pull out my phone and I would just like start recording myself singing in the car. For me, it was like Rod Wave and stuff like that. And so sometimes I was just posting on my Instagram. And, you know, that allowed me to really just get comfortable in who I am. And if you go on my personal Instagram today, I'll even pull up videos. But, you know, you would just see me like, you know, singing in the car, just cruising down the street, singing to various different artists, you know. And it really allowed me to just bring out a whole nother side of me and just allow myself to be seen. And in that moment, people get to see me and choose, hey, do I want to deal with this person or not? You know, is this somebody who I like or not? And I will argue that allowed me to, you know, really connect with the people who are meant for me. You know, it's no hiding, basically. Like, if you're really close to me, you know who I am, because that's how I show up as every day. Like, there's no questioning who I am. It's like I show up as myself at all times, basically. In my YouTube videos, like, I just show up as myself. And so it's no questioning, is he hiding something? What is he suppressing? Is this really him? You know, is he faking it and stuff like that? Or behind closed doors, now he's really this way. There's no alter personalities or things like that. Like, I just show up as myself every single time. And whether you choose to be, accept me or not, that's your choice. But regardless of whether or not people accept you, basically, you stay as you. And I think that's how you learn to really love yourself. That's really how you learn to become confident in who you are. That's how you learn to build a foundation of who you are and live by your own moral standards and live life on your own terms, essentially. It's like you allow yourself to just be free. And whether other people like that version of you or not, you don't allow it to do anything to you. I think a lot of times you guys see people reject you, see people not accepting you, and you get in the mindset of, what do I need to change about me? When the reality of it is like, that person's just not for me. You should never revolve your life around trying to get accepted by other people or trying to, do the right thing, essentially. It's like, I'm me, and whoever accepts that version of me is who accepts me. I love those who love me, the real me. I never want to place myself in certain situations or certain environments where I feel I have to change who I am, or I have to constantly put on a mask, because that's, again, when you start overthinking. You're always going to overthink or question being somebody that isn't authentic or that doesn't come naturally to you. You're questioning, what would this person make in order to get this person's approval? What character do I need to be? And what choice would that character make in this situation? You want to get rid of that filter of filtering your actions and decisions from the viewpoint of others and start seeing it through your own. Start seeing it from what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, not from, what will make them laugh, or what will make them think this way of me, or what will get them to approve me or to accept me or to want me as a friend or to value me or to fight for me and things like that, or to get them to trust me or to get them to see me as good enough. A lot of you guys think so externally from the perspective of others and trying to manipulate and try and control how other people think and things like that, when in reality, just connect with yourself. Just be who you are. Be what comes naturally to you. A lot of you guys throw out so many different versions of yourself out there, trying to see which one gets approved. You're waiting. The title of this video is probably going to be, permission to be yourself, or something along that. But all you guys throw so many different versions of yourself out there in multiple different environments, seeing what gets me accepted here. What will people like here? What will people, see me positively? What version of myself do I need to show up as that will get me seen positively? It's like, you never stick to just being yourself, but instead you're throwing multiple different characters out there around different people. You're a different character around your mom. You're a different character around your friends. You're a different character around strangers. You're a different character when it comes to job interviews. You're a different character when it comes to, how you treat people at work. You have so many different characters, so many different masks, because you're constantly throwing out, what version of me gets approved by you? What version of me, do I have that permission to be, essentially? I think when you learn to just let that filter down and just be who you are, you'll realize, like, yeah, some people are going to reject you. But I think when you're really authentic and just confident and comfortable in your own skin, that's how you attract the people who are really meant for you, the people who are really good for you, the people who, you may have never known existed. Because a lot of you guys, you hear my videos and things like that, and you're like, oh, I relate to this person so much. Oh, I didn't even know he felt that way. Oh, I didn't even know other people thought like this and stuff like that. And that's because you constantly suppress yourself and hide that area of you. You hide that version of yourself because you don't know if you're capable or allowed to actually bring it out. But, until you fully express that and until you're fully comfortable in being that person, it's like you really never know. A lot of us think the same out here. A lot of us go through the same things in which we go through, but it's like a lot of us think we're not allowed to think that way, or we're not allowed to feel that way, or we're not allowed to, do the things in which we're doing. And it's like we don't even realize how many people relate to us or how many people are actually in common with who we are, because we're constantly suppressing ourselves, our real selves. We're constantly suppressing our real selves because we don't think that they're allowed to be out in the real world, because we think other people might feel some type of way about them, or that, again, we don't have that permission to be that person. Why do you guys say you struggle with confidence or anxiety or fear and all these different things? And that's all because you're so worried about controlling the things out of your control, or you're so worried about the after effects of just being yourself, to the point that you kind of micro-analyze every single situation and the results that it will get you. You micro-analyze the result that you want, and then you usually deny that one. You usually say, oh, no, I can't, that's not good enough, I can't be me, I got to suppress that, we got to think of something different. And then you start playing out every single scenario for every decision you could possibly make. It's like you micro-analyze whether you say yes, whether you say no, whether you say maybe, whether you say I don't know, and you micro-analyze like every single result each of those answers might get you. And so, of course, I'm going to be unconfident in somebody I continuously second guess, instead of just saying what I want to be said. And I let go of all the results I might try and control afterwards. Keep it simple. Whether I approach a girl, I let go of trying to say the right thing. I let go of trying to impress her. I let go of being this person who, is a smooth talker and stuff. Like, I let go of all of that, and I just allow myself to be me. And then when it comes to anxiety, or in certain situations, not trying to impress, not trying to prevent, not trying to say, giving myself the permission and the space to make mistakes and say the wrong thing and things like that. Because I think when you allow yourself to move freely in life, I think your uniqueness is what really allows you to have a lot of value as a person. Because you have to think about it. When you're unique and you're rare, that means that there's not many other people like you. And I think when you have uniqueness and a rarity to yourself, and you fully embrace it, then that's how you really get in tune with what makes you happy. That's how you really get in tune with your creativity. That's how you really get in tune with your purpose and what you're really passionate about, and really what really makes you joyful and happy in life, and gives you a purpose to wake up every single day and things like that. Because I feel like when you're in line with who you really are, and like the person that just comes naturally to you, you don't second guess a lot, you don't overthink a lot. You allow yourself to just be you, and you don't second guess every single decision you make and stuff like that. You're not taking into consideration everybody else's opinion or the world and stuff like that. But I think also just being more in tune with yourself allows other people to easily connect with you. Because I know me personally, from being myself and just like showing up as I am, I feel that I bring out the best of other people. I feel when people get around me, they don't feel this expectation, feel they have to meet an expectation. They don't feel judged. They don't feel that they have to be somebody they're not. A lot of people tend to bring out their childlike side around me, because they see like, I'm going to be myself. So, you have the ability to be yourself, and whoever yourself is, cool. But never, I feel like I don't make people feel they have to have walls up. Like, I'm not judgmental really. I just allow people to be who they are. I think that's how you have to I think that's something you have to give yourself permission to do. Give yourself the permission to be who you are, regardless of who does and doesn't accept that person. This is going to take some time. It's going to take, for some of you guys, it might take a year. It might take 2 years. Some of you guys, it might just take months. But, it's something that you have to learn to embrace and fully do every single day. And a lot of you guys are looking for that freedom or that confidence or that peace. I guarantee you, it's on the side of you finally learning how you can just fully embrace being you and not being anybody other than that person. But I appreciate you guys for tuning into the video. Hope you learned a thing or two. Hoodies are officially live on the site at willkeepitreal.com. Be sure to use code WKeepItReal at checkout for 20% off. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notices. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.